a multi-disciplinary approach. We know stroke, though we say is preventable, many a times, unfortunately, it affects individuals, and many of us are not privileged to be treated during the golden hour. We know many of the emergencies, medical emergencies, even RTAs require a prompt, efficient care during the golden hour. And in this way, actually, our NMC or MCA had suggested all medical colleges in the country to establish an emergency medicine department. And again, there, many of our colleges, we are maybe one of the exceptions in this region. We have established, under the leadership of our management, we have established a fully functional emergency medicine. Even now, we are planning to recruit many more faculty members. We have almost 30-bedded setup there in the emergency medicine. That is not the case in many other places. I know one of my former students, though we say stroke rehabilitation and the lifespan after that is much less, he was affected during his early 40s without any underlying cause. There was no predisposing factor. And in fact, I met him now about 7 years back. He is the head of the department of anatomy in one of the medical colleges, government medical colleges, still functioning. And he was affected in the year 2009. You can imagine how determined he is. So we have this in our hand. With a proper care, many, even with the emergency treatment, many may not recover fully. There may be a lot of residual effects based on the area of the brain affected. Maybe motor cortex, sensory cortex, as our principal mentioned, aphasia, involvement of the speech areas. All these things are pretty common. In this scenario, recovery may not be complete, and all require a long-term therapy, rehabilitation, involving all the disciplines. Now, it's actually pleasing to see delegates across all the streams, because all the streams are involved in taking care. Moral support, psychiatric support, all these are needed for that particular patient. Now, the doctor whom I was mentioning, luckily he did not have any effect on the speech function. So he can function well, he can still teach, he can take classes, and his left side is affected, left hemiplegic he is, and he can write, communicate very efficiently. And in fact, I was shocked to see him. We were, though he was my student between 92 to 95, we were batchmates in St. John's in the advanced course for medical education. He went through ACME along with me. We got our so-called convocation together at St. John's. So it was actually pleasing. And he once called me as an examiner. I usually never used to go on the Rajiv Gandhi University when I was working in Manipal. But just to see how he functions, I went there. It's of course disheartening to see an young person like that, but his determination was quite appreciable. And what he told me is he gets good support, moral support from his family members, and also he has poor people to take care of. Of course, everyone is not that lucky, may not be affordable for such a care, but with our contribution, all the fields involved, maybe the quality of the life of a person can be better, and he or she can live reasonably happily. It can't be 100% happiness, but reasonably happily throughout their life. With this, I wish this symposium all the very best. I've been given a short time to speak. So I wish this symposium all the very best. We know, I heard the list of the resource people, all eminent personalities in their respective fields, and I hope it will be a good learning academic feast for you all. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
They have been calling me as a special guest. I think it is an app because I am a special delegate here because it's a nice thing that to see almost all the units of Father Muller have joined here. Most often we talk about family. This is a true family because of your program. And I'm doubly happy simply because most of the time when you talk about stroke, you think only in adults. But it is misnomer. It can come from womb to tomb, not only in the living ones, even the baby in the womb can have a stroke. The identification is difficult, that's why we are not talking about it. Everybody is worried about the heart attack, but when nobody is really bothered about a head attack. But the name was not given the head attack, that's the reason. If you have written a head attack, probably they would have more reasons. Well, this is I think the beginning, and I'm sure this delegate or deliberations, what you're going to have is going to be a practice later, in the sense, just discuss with him. I think it is high time we have a unit of stroke unit or a stroke clinic, so that we can practice everything in the properly and have this rehabilitation corrected. And as all of you know, this neurological event can occur both in artery and veins. It's not only related to artery, whereas in heart attack is restricted only the arteries. But here we can get both the arteries and veins. And particularly in pediatric, if you learn pediatric, you know entire things, because pediatric is a very varied manifestation, very varied causes, whereas in case adults almost is restricted to few things. And this is very common also. In the newborn, they say it's almost like called as perinatal stroke. It occurs almost 1 in 4,000. It means in Father Muller, we are getting at least 1 or 2 cases per year, because we deliver here around really 4,000 plus, and none of us have been noticed. And in children, it's said almost 1 in 2,000. So it's quite common. But the recognition is difficult, or we often call them as mimicking disorders. Safwan will talk more on that. So it will be a mimicking disorder. So it makes, most of the time we make a diagnosis of different things together rather than making a stroke. And the rule of thumb here is the earlier you diagnose, the better the prognosis. Now Dean said about the golden hours. Yes. That's why when you want to identify a stroke, they use a mnemonic called as be fast, because you have to do it very fast. There's a balance, eye movements. When you get a facial drooping, will be there. The arm weakness will be there. Then, of course, we'll get a speech, most important one. Then, of course, you have to do it in a 60 minutes. If you delay it, probably that will delay for quite long. So, very early identification is very good. Now, coming to rehab, yes, rehab is a multi-disciplinary. Most of the time, with due respect to everybody, it was a doctor-centered treatment. But it has no more a doctor-centered treatment. It has to be multidisciplinary, then only we can get an optimum output out of it. Now, how to do all these things? Now, actually, today's seminar is an eye-opener for everybody. Now, with a galaxy of speakers I just read out, all of them are chosen from their own best fields. It means every branch of medicine, every branch of science or medical sciences have been included in that. Probably left out with the nursing, I suppose. It is also get very good. I didn't get the name, I didn't get it. Yes. So this is very important. Yeah, it should be necessary, and I would like to coin a term. We should get for golden hours of receiving. In rehabilitation, you use a silver month, because if you use first 6 months, the recovery is very good. Beyond that, the recovery is very unlikely. So we can call these 6 months as a silver month, so that the patient can be completely all right. Now, coming to the therapy, yes, a primary physician is a must, agreed. Neurologist or a neurosurgeon is also a must.
The banner we had put 1 day symposium, stroke rehabilitation, a multidisciplinary approach near Ashakiran. And the wind was so strong, at 6:30, the banner got a stroke, and it is totally thrown into. So I was just wondering. Then, as everybody says, Dr. Sapana also will say that the golden hour within 2 hours is the best outcome. So within 2 hours at 8:30, we have a man who is in charge of this workers, Richard, and his team rushed there and they were removing the banner. Actually, one person is enough, but a team has come there because it is a stroke. It is a mere concurrence even today. The gospel we have, the Christians will know. For Mass, every day we have readings. And the Bible reading, the gospel today is Jesus curing a man who had a withered hand or who had a paralysis or a stroke. And when Jesus saw him, he told him, get up, take up your bed and go. Then others objected. No, it is not right. Then once again, he told him, get up, take up your bed and go. And the man was able to walk. There is another incident in the Bible when there was a big crowd in a house when Jesus was preaching. 4 people brought a man with a stroke or a paralysis, and they could not take him inside the house, but they opened the roof and dropped him down. Dropped him is not from the top, but brought him down, and then they brought him near Jesus, and he was also cured. These are the incidents of miracles. Well, now miracles should take place, and they take place. But God's hand is there always, and the human cooperation is required. And therefore, today, as Dr. Sanjeev Rai said, and also our guest, chief guest mentioned, the multidisciplinary approach will give better outcomes. It is not one man's business, but everyone is involved, because hands may not be moving, legs may not be moving, speech may be impaired, and therefore everybody is needed. Just other day, I know a lady who had a fall from Udupi at 2 o'clock from the bed, and just she had fallen down, and she was admitted here. But now, actually, it is not a stroke that she had fallen down. After that, she feels that it is not possible for me to get up or to walk at all. She was brought again to the hospital yesterday to a neurologist, and then also referred to a psychiatrist or a counselor, because willpower also is required. As Dr. Sanjeev Rai rightly said, it is attack to the brain. Of course, paralysis comes, but at the same time, when the brain is affected or there is a paralysis in the brain, psychiatric treatment also or counseling is also needed. And today, under the leadership of Wasim, faculty of the college, the Department of Speech and Hearing, I think it's his brainchild. He has come out with this wonderful idea, and to put together all, it is not easy. Homeopathy students from there, medical college, and physiotherapy students, speech and hearing, postgraduate and undergraduates, and also from the College of Nursing, all coming together for this symposium today is really very, very encouraging. And he has taken a lot of effort to meet the concern and to bring you all together in this platform today for this discussion and for this symposium. I am sure it will have its fruits in definitely it is more than 60 or 80 or 100 fold, because a team is always required to handle a issue, and especially for rehabilitation, stroke rehabilitation, and for this the various departments have come together. I thank and congratulate Wasim and his team and entire faculty of our college under the leadership of also our principal and vice principal. They have come out with this idea, and today I'm sure all of you will have a very fruitful session. I request each and every one of you who have come here, not just to see your cell phone and pass time, but not take it very seriously, listen to the talk and have interactive session, and definitely it will be a great help, because now see cardiac arrest, that also ECLS, basic life support, and cardiac care, how to be done, and even in an emergency, how to help someone to save life, because everyone needs this kind of training today. It is not for only for doctors or only for nurses, for everyone. And it is good to know this also, how to rehabilitate the stroke victims. And you will have a very wonderful session. I thank all our speakers today from our own colleges, and I wish each and every one of you all the best, and may God bless us. Thank you.